Welcome to the Dave Palma Show, the podcast that revives, restores, and awakens your innermost capabilities.
You have the training and the talent to succeed, but do you have the guts to fail?
I love what I do. When you love what you do, you want to be the best at it.
Today is about the power of you. You will change the world.
Find your path to success through the journey of those who have succeeded. And now, your host, Dave Palma.
Hi, welcome back to the Dave Palma Show. And with me in this episode, I have someone who offers a decade of extraordinary success in a series of high-level roles as an inspirational speaker and as a fire captain. Jonathan Salmond, welcome to the Dave Palma Show.
Hey, Dave, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. Thanks for coming on, Jonathan. It's been a long time since we've been trying to arrange this.
Yes. I'm glad we finally got the opportunity to do this, yes.
Yeah, well, life happens, and obviously it's been happening to me. I've been trying to do a show in between, so, you know, and I know how busy it is in the fire service. Obviously, being an ex-firefighter myself, so but you're a fire captain, which obviously,
yes, sir.
Great. So, I've got to call you, sir.
No.
I've got to call you, sir. In the academy, did you do all the sir and all that stuff, or?
Oh, the academy was, you know how that is, but it was a great time. There's people that actually go in there when they go into the building. They say they can hear the people still screaming at them when we were in there.
Yeah, you mean the training, the trainers?
Yes.
Yeah.
The trainers. You can still hear the trainers yelling at us. I teach in that burn, and it's called the burn building that you're familiar with. So we train in that burn building. You can still hear the echoing of people yelling at you. So. Oh
my god! Well, that's where you do the breathing apparatus training and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we do all the training in there. Your hose line advancement, you're raising your ladders, search and rescue.
Yeah.
Now I do as an officer, I do what's called bailout training up there. So it's basically there's bailout. So there's a device which is called a PETSL system, which is your rapid deploy system, which is on your bunker pants, and it shows you in to get out of the fire building rapidly. You basically hook onto the seal. Or you could tie off, and you have guys hanging out it's about 50 feet of rope.
Oh, and, my God. Yeah.
Yeah. So in a bad situation,
we don't have that. We didn't have that in London. Yeah. I worked for London Fire Brigade, so did 25 years there. So how long have you done before? I mean, obviously you're a fire captain now, so that's quite good. You've achieved that. Well done.
Now I'm in my 12th year now.
Oh, right. Yeah. So
I've been a captain for 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a fair time. Because I know that this career's around 20 years plus, isn't it? 20 years.
We can do 20 to 25 over here. I'm looking to do 20.
Yeah, well, I'll do 25, so you'll be good if you're pushing it. I mean, it's just a little bit longer, and I think the pension's quite good and the pay is quite good in America anyway, so...
yeah, I can't complain.
Yeah. But let's we can talk and bore everyone off their pants.
Oh, yeah, that's true. This is our thing. Yeah, you're right.
No. I think people are quite interested to hear that side. But obviously, I wanted to do something inspirational myself, so I wrote an inspirational book before I retired called Firefighting from Within, actually, but it's more of a mindset thing. And I didn't manage to go speaking with it, and I moved out to the Philippines where my wife is from, and I've got a kid there now and everything. So I'm back in the UK now. So nice and sunny, but about 8 degrees Celsius. It's a little bit cold. But yeah, it was a good career. It was a good career, I must admit. We did have some politics.
Yeah, well, I mean that's everywhere. It's basically a political from the top down. It's a political thing, and you got council people, the citizens, and what our people is too. It's customer service that we're really in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, public service.
Yeah, public service, but we're in. It's customer service, if you think about it, because what I always tell the guys is you're going to see these people on their worst day. They're not calling you up because they want to have a hot dog, a beer and a hot dog with you.
Yeah.
They're calling because stuff's going down, and they expect they expect you to have the answers. There's no, because I was in the rescue company for about 4 years, and one of my senior guys would always tell me. He's like, well, when we get there, we have to figure it out. There's no 1011. He said, there's no one we could call. 911, we're it.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. I mean, they'll probably want to give you a beer and a hot dog afterwards or something, but not while it's all going on.
No,
anyway.
not while it's going down.
Yeah, as I say, I got busy with the podcast in the end, and obviously I've got some qualifications, even including fitness training, coaching, life coaching, and stuff like that, to give me the thing to do some speaking. I wanted to really get into speaking with my book, and I'm quite,
So you're definitely in the speaking realm. You already have, right, the experience to go out there and just tell your experiences, everything that you want to do when you're going out there as a speaker. You just want to always be able to connect and tie into a story. Yeah, everything's just about stories, as you know, with writing the book. Yeah. My big thing when I speak is I like to use a lot of acronyms, because people tend to, like, when you take promotional exams and things like that, we use acronyms to remember all that information.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
So a big one that I like is the FIRE mindset, which the FIRE just stands for fearless, intentional, resilient, and enthusiastic.
That's it.
Going into those buildings, you have to have a healthy. I tell people you have to have a healthy respect for fire, right?
Yeah, because they don't take no prisoners, basically.
No, exactly.
You can't tell them how to behave or just behave. We study how they behave, but you can't tell them how to behave. So it's just
exactly. And fire behavior is a big thing, and it's
huge,
it's still with the knowledge, it's still very unpredictable.
Yeah.
So that's the fearless part of it. You have to just go in there, and then as well, I tell my guys when they come on, whether they're in my company or in the academy, I tell them to be intentional with their career, because it's your career. You have to if you're just coming to work, because a lot of guys are just happy to have the job.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're coming to work with the intention to be, even if it's just 1% better every day, and what the intention is for your career, whether you want to be an investigator, an inspector, you have aspirations to be a captain, a chief, or anything like that. So I always tell them to make sure they're intentional. And then the resiliency part of it is, as you know, we start from behind the 8 ball. We're going in there not knowing what the situation is. We're there to mitigate it and make it better.
Yeah.
And our big thing that we preach is, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So there's going to be setbacks.
Yeah.
We're definitely in the business, or as you were in the business of mistakes. Nobody means, except for arsonists, nobody means to burn their house down.
Nah.
No one tries to get injured. No one wants to be in a situation where they have to be rescued for a high angle or rescued from a motor vehicle accident. But we're going there to mitigate that situation. We're starting from behind, so we have to be resilient.
Yeah.
And the E, enthusiasm, I've noticed most firemen, they're very enthusiastic about what we do.
Of course,
they're very into the job.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's a job. It's an honourable profession, and a lot of people, try hard to get to be firefighters and just never do. And obviously have to pursue another career for whatever reason. And so it makes it that much more, when you can't get something that easy, it makes it that much more kind of.
It makes it much, you appreciate it a lot more.
Exactly, yeah.
There was a guy, so I'll tell you a quick story. So when I went to become a firefighter, I had no aspirations of being one.
Mm.
My cousin, who actually is a battalion chief now, he actually joined the fire service the day after 9/11.
Oh,
he joined September 12th, 2001.
Oh my God! And sorry, which department are you with, by the way?
In New Jersey. I'm in Patterson, New Jersey.
Oh yeah, okay. So he wasn't in New York. Your cousin.
So he didn't go. No, but there were guys that because it was such a large scale incident.
They called them.
Gentlemen from Patterson. They did go over there.
Yeah.
And then the very next day, he's in the academy doing push-ups in a suit.
Oh my God.
So he texted me one day. I used to work corporate accounts for AT&T. And he texted me one day. He said, "Hey, come get an application." I'm like, "I don't know, for what?" I'm not doing that. I'm not running into burning buildings.
Yeah.
He's like, "Just come get it. If you don't want to do it, you could turn it down."
Yeah.
So maybe a couple months or something like that, there was an alarm in a building that I lived in. And the alarm went off. It's 56 apartments. So 7 floors, eight apartments each floor. So I look around and there's really no one outside. So I said, there's an alarm going on. I said, let me go back in here. I go back in, I go up to the 7th floor, take the stairs. I knocked on every door. And on the way out, the fire department gets there. And one of the ladies that lived there, she said, oh, you need to work with them. I said, no, this building no, I don't want to run into burning buildings. And the firefighter goes to me, he's like, you do know that this building could have been on fire that you just went back into.
Oh my God.
I said, well, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
And so I went, I showed up, I took the test and it worked out.
Yeah. It made you feel, well, this is something I'm fearless about. Well, I shouldn't say fearless because obviously everyone has a sense of fear. It's how you deal with the fear, I suppose, is it?
Yeah, exactly. It's about being being brave is when you're doing something.
Brave,
you're just trying to. They call us the bravest, like the PD are the finest. We're the bravest. It's just operating when you know it could be a bad situation because it literally is.
Yeah.
When you're going in, everybody's coming out, and you're
exactly. Yeah, that's the saying,
it's so interesting. So one time I actually stopped and said, "What am I doing?" But you enjoy it, and your training kicks in, and you just go in, you put the fire out, and everything gets better.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, obviously I worked in London, so that's a global city. So we kind of have the similar things to other global cities around the world, including New York, LA, Japan, Tokyo, I should say. You know, those kind of cities. So Paris, I've been to Paris. I've met some firefighters there. I've been to New York. So as I said, I've travelled around actually. I used to do things like I used to do track actually, and I did it while I was a firefighter as well. So I did things like the World Firefighter Games, the World Police and Fire Games. I don't know if you heard of those games.
Yeah, absolutely.
The camaraderie stretched more with like yourself, firefighters from around the world. You know, I met firefighters from both Asia, America. You know.
Okay. Now, when in
Latin
London,
America,
in London, how is your respond? What was the total of like engines and ladder companies? Like what was a full response considered for a working fire?
Well, the total amount of stations I think was about 111, something like that. But I think at the time when I was leaving, there was closing a few, quite an amount, like 5 or 10 or something. I can't remember, and I can't remember what's happened since. But let's just say over 100 fire stations.
Okay, so you had over 100 fire stations, but let's say you had a fire. How many apparatuses would show up?
It just depends. But of course, because I know that when I went to Queens and places like that, the fires are huge compared to what I've been there and seen fires. You know, I don't want to be standing watching them, but I just kind of I went past and thought, so I know it's a more huger thing, and I suppose I'd imagine New Jersey is a similar place to New York.
Well, our working fire, because we're what's considered a medium-sized department.
Right. Okay.
So when we respond to a working fire, it's usually 2 battalion chiefs, 4 engines, 2 ladders, and a rescue. And
minimum? You mean like minimum?
Yeah. The minimum response.
So minimum would be two machines in a house fire, like a just a regular house, 2 bedrooms,
2.5 story wood frame. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's a high rise, it would be minimum maybe 4. And then if we go to an underground station, which in America you call subways, then there's more of an operation going, because we had a serious fire in 1987 just before I joined, and it killed a lot of people. I've been to a few railroad stuff. I've written it in my book, actually, one of them, but more of a mindset thing afterwards. But then obviously you would have a minimum probably of 4, and then there's probably, if it's multiple calls, I don't know if you call it multiple calls, but if there's more calls coming and people reported, then they'll probably make it automatically 4.
Okay, yeah, that's what they call with us when dispatch comes through. Yeah, they'll say, we're multiple calls. Once we hear multiple calls, we say, all right, we're going to work, boys.
Once you hear that and you're in the back, well, you're in the front now, but it's like, because obviously you're keeping your calm and just trying to deal with the information. But Once you hear multiple calls, you know you got something, don't you?
You know you got something. Yep. Or you hear I don't know if they say that over there, but by us sometimes they'll say smoke in the area. They'll let us know.
Smoke issuing. Smoke issuing. They say, yeah.
Okay.
But sometimes it's a bit of steam coming out of a restaurant, or the water kind of pipes, and the.
Yep. I literally had that. The last 2 shifts in a row, I had that. They're yelling. They're like, "Oh no, it's in the basement." I said, "Where?" It's in the basement. So I said, "Well, how is this person running back into the fire with no gear on?" I said, "This isn't a fire." So I go into the basement and I follow them, and I said, "Yeah, this is probably steam, because you're going to smell the fire and see the smoke."
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
This is steam.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it was steam.
Yeah. Fortunately, yeah. So people do tend to sort of frown upon the way that we talk, like how we're talking, but it's the profession, isn't it? It does it really.
It definitely is, because because people will say, like you said, they have a respect for the fire service in general. And what I try to tell them is, we're just ordinary people doing an extraordinary job. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's something that puts you in different positions that a civilian wouldn't see.
Yeah.
And then you just get a little desensitized to certain things, which is why it's becoming a big thing with mental health and mental help and all that across especially with military. They're on a whole nother level. But police and fire, things of that nature.
I've taken a resiliency coaching qualification. They do a specific one for military, firefighters, emergency service or first responders, hospital frontliners, doctors, nurses, because the suicide rate's actually got quite high in line of duty, hasn't it? Really?
Yes. And that's the thing. I took a class and they were telling us that it was, because I always thought the biggest thing was the heart attacks. So that's what they preach, the heart attacks. They said no. They said it's suicide, cancer, then the heart attacks.
Yeah.
I said, wow. I had no idea.
No. The good thing is that these things, again, because when I joined, which was in 1990, that it's frowned upon. You can't really talk about those kind of things, can you? But now they try and sort of give that training, the mental health training, in with the firefighting recruitment program, or you call them probies, I suppose, don't you?
Yeah, probies,
recruits. Yeah. We used to say recruits, but we've been told of it's trainees, apparently. But
well, it's a paramilitary organization, right? So we put it as recruits. We're recruiting them, then they're probationary firefighters. That's how
I mean, I was called recruit firefighter Palmer when I joined, but it's now trainee. I would have been called trainee firefighter Palmer. But anyway, let's not get into the politics of that. We can in a minute, but so that's something that I branched off to and pivoted to when I was in the lockdown period, and I took that towards the end of the I don't even know we're in the pandemic still, actually. But,
I mean, we don't even know anymore. They just stopped telling us.
It's not telling us. They just say, I think we've got something of interest here, or whatever. Saying that, during the pandemic, when I joined, there was a lot of politics going on, but it was internal, and obviously I felt it myself. And I know during the pandemic, the first year especially.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. I would imagine in America, there's a lot. Yeah.
Well, in America, obviously, with the Black Lives Matter movement and everything else. But sadly, we had a trainee firefighter, a black firefighter, who was stationed near the fire station I worked with, that committed suicide. And he got a lot of bullying and I think some racism as well.
Yeah.
And he was talking about things like that with his colleagues, Black Lives Matter stuff, because it all happened during the pandemic, and it was while the movements was in America, especially the riots was going on and stuff like that. But of course, it's spreading around the world, So UK is very closely related, where your American cousins or whatever, So
absolutely,
So of course, we had to throw a few colonizers in the statue in the river and things like that, just like you was burning the Confederate flags or whatever.
It was going on. It was happening.
It's going on, but. Tell us about maybe. I did have chats with some firefighters, and some try and have their own way of dealing with it. I did do some trade union work, so that was kind of more where I went. I did take some promotional exams and went up a little bit, but not quite how you've done and your cousin. But of course, there was a lot of politics going on in that sense. And
so with us, I could say it's a little more straightforward. We have the Civil Service Commission, right? So it's this test, right? It's a test you take. It is on camera. So if you get someone who may not like your face, that could be an issue.
Right.
But if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, your written score is the written score. It is what it is.
Yeah.
The only thing that's a little subjective is the oral component. So we have two components. We have a written test, which is about 75 questions. And then you have an oral examination, which is it's usually two scenarios.
Yeah.
And one will be you showing up as the the incident commander.
That's right, yeah.
And then there'll be a supervisory question.
Yeah.
And then the other one is usually a task-based. So they'll put you in charge of the engine, ladder, or rescue. And you'll have to do a task like search, ladder the building, advance a hose line. And then usually there's what they call an evolving scenario. So something's going to happen. You're either going to experience backdraft, a flashover, or opposing lines, and you're going to have to make the adjustments because they want to see how you work under pressure, but then also they want to make sure they want to test your anticipatory skills.
Yeah. So, they call it situational awareness.
Correct. Yeah. Situational awareness. Yep.
Yeah.
So
we have the similar thing, and they also use it now for people applying as firefighters from outside. Now they use a similar thing on a firefighter's level. What would you do if people certain things happen? They obviously don't know nothing about the fire service, but they just want to see how they'll respond in certain situations before they even join, kind of thing.
Assessment.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's like an assessment beforehand. Sorry, we just got interrupted a little bit. It's all right. No, I think I've got you back now. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
You froze for a little bit, so I just kept going.
Yeah. Just a slight blip in the connection.
It's a glitch in the matrix.
Glitch. That's it. Exactly. Well, listen, we don't want to obviously talk jargon or anything for our regular listeners here. So tell us more about Pure Hustle, which evolved from
Pure Hustle is actually a friend of mine, Larry Brooks. He has that company, Pure Hustle, and it's just about, and everything you do, just doing the best you can every day. And it goes back to what I said before about that 1% better.
Yeah.
That's his company. So anytime I do something, speaking engagement, interview, anytime I have a chance to represent his company, I do it, because he was one of the first people when I started doing this to ever give me some apparel. So I always represent his company.
Oh, okay. All right. So in terms of your own speaking engagement, how did you get involved with that?
So I got involved in it because I noticed there was a need for people, because motivation and inspiration are actually two different things.
Yeah.
Motivation is a longer period of time. Inspiration is almost like a quick little catalyst.
Right. Yeah.
So people need those short bursts.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of the fire service, because when we do things, it's short bursts.
Ignite.
It's not over a long duration.
No.
So I got into it, and it was something that I went and actually, one of my mentors is actually Jeremy Anderson, who's actually from the Eric Thomas tree.
All right.
And
I don't know that.
Okay, well, Eric Thomas, if you look him up, you just Google Eric Thomas.
Yeah. I will do.
You'll come right up. You'll know. You'll be like, oh, this guy, the guy that always yells. But I'm part of that tree as far as with the speaking.
Yeah.
And I just took and Jeremy, my immediate mentor, just gave me the idea. Said, hey, you're already a leader in the fire service. You have stories. Everybody has a story.
Yeah.
Just tell yours. And one story that I always use is the example of when I was training physically for the job.
Right. Okay.
And there was a gentleman who took a group of 20 young men, took a group of 20 of us, and he took us to the park. And he gave us a regimen to do. Running the stairs. Like it was like 120 stairs. But we would do suicides, 10 up, 10 down, 20 up, 20 down.
Yeah.
And that was just the warm-up. So we were doing that. And I noticed the group was dwindling from 20 to 15, 10, 5. Then eventually it was just... And I'm at the 3 days, cold, and I had to go to work because I was still at my other job, obviously.
Yeah.
And I looked up these steps and I said, I could leave right now and nobody's going to know. I said, nobody's going to know. But I said, you know what? I'm going to know. And that's when I knew I was going to get the job on the fire department. And because it's about what you do when no one's looking.
Exactly. Yeah. So integrity in terms of that.
Correct. So with the speaking, that's what I tell people, because that was me being intentional that day. Yeah. So it goes back to the fearless, the intentional, the resilient, and enthusiasm. Yeah. And I was just using that intention that day to make sure this is what I wanted to do. Yeah. As far as now, I'm transitioning into more, because of being a leader in the fire service, I'm transitioning more into giving leadership talks. Yeah. And one of the ones an acronym that I use, because I love acronyms, one of the acronyms I use for that is lead. Okay. If you want to be a leader, you have to lead. And that's an effective leader, in my opinion. He'll learn. After he learns, he'll educate. He knows he or she has to know how to articulate that and disseminate that information. And then the biggest thing you have to do as a leader, you have to decide. You have to make a decision. Okay. Yeah. So it's learn, educate, articulate, decide.
And decision making is a big thing in the fire service as well. So on the fire ground and the fire
correct.
Ground there.
So they will tell you, I'd rather have a poor plan executed well than a good plan not executed at all.
Oh yeah.
So that's why you make the decision, you decide. And that's the big thing that I notice, especially with this generation. Sometimes leaders, like, nobody wants to be a leader. They just want to follow. And we need more leaders. We need more leaders. We need men, we need women, we need all creeds, cultures, races. That we need more leaders.
But I mean, leadership can be it's not necessarily someone who's right at the top. It can be in the home. It can be how you are as a person, can't it?
Yes. Yeah. Correct. You lead in the home, you lead in the school, and you don't have to have any rank to be a leader.
That's right. Yeah. You don't have to be. It's just how you. Yeah.
It's how you carry yourself.
How you carry yourself. Exactly.
Positive examples. You're a leader before you're a leader before you get into that position.
Yeah.
By doing the right things, like we said with the whole example of running stairs when no one's looking. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like you said, integrity. And then another big one that I talk about is my favorite color is red. See by the hat. And for that acronym, for me, life. And I learned this from a doctor actually. Okay. And I added the last piece, but. He said life is about relationships and doing something meaningful. Yeah. So that's what it's. So in the middle of that, I just put experiences, relationships, experiences, and doing something meaningful. Yeah. Because they tell you, I forget the quote exactly, but they say if someone looks at your tombstone, you have the birth date and the day that you died. But the most important part is the dash. Yeah. What did you do in that dash?
Exactly.
That dash is all your experiences.
Yeah, they miss that bit out, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
They're having in the UK, they have like these blue circles saying this person lived here, and they put a little bit about them, but not too much.
A little bit, okay.
But
you just get a dash.
Yeah, I know. When you think about it, even these famous musicians, say like Michael Jackson. I mean, I'm not saying any favorite names or anything. I'm just giving an example. Mm-hmm. They'll say a lot about them as soon as they've died and everything, but then it tends to die away, doesn't it? Really? I mean, the music lives on, but it tends to have a Prince or whatever. I'm just talking about my era anyway. By the way,
it's actually funny that you said Michael Jackson. I kid you not, I was actually listening to Michael Jackson this morning.
Oh my god,
that is funny.
That's a code. Well, I was a kid when the Jackson 5 cartoons were on TV. So
okay.
But of course, he's he would have been 10 years older than me, something like that. I think something like that. So,
okay.
So yeah,
but
I grew up with all that. But what I'm saying is, you don't really, you just hear the music. You just know that it's someone who lived between a certain time.
Correct. And then there's no legacy. Like with you writing a book, right? That's something that carries on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That book will be here. That information that you're giving, that experience that you're giving, that doing something meaningful that you're doing for mental health will live on past you, and you'll be able to help somebody with that.
Oh, sorry about this. I should have.
Yeah, you'll be able to help someone with that, and that's what. So developing the relationships, having experiences, and doing something meaningful.
Yeah.
Those are the big things, and just in inspiration, just in life in general. Because inspiration is a little burst. Motivation may get you started in something. Inspiration sparks the idea.
Yeah.
Motivation, you start doing it. But the biggest thing is the discipline that's going to keep you going.
Discipline, yeah, that's right. And of course, again, it's a service we worked in. It has to be disciplined, with what you're going through, really. So
exactly, it has to be.
Excellent. So what's
with the people experience the PTSD. So I took that and flipped it. I said, PTSD, but you could suffer from it. And crazy enough, if you take it as patience, tenacity, strength, and discipline, if you use it as that, you can take yourself further. And I do that with I intertwine that with the whole leading acronym, with the LEAD acronym.
Yeah. But that's a new thing, because obviously you've looked at leadership now as more, well, not more, as another component.
Correct. It's
very important.
Component.
Yeah.
It's very important, because the basis of everything, though, is around the FIRE mindset.
Yeah.
And anybody can use that. Fearless, intentional, resilient, enthusiastic.
Yeah. Well, before we go, and obviously I'd like people to know what you've got coming up next for you, and where you're going now with all your work, really. Not with the fire service. I don't want people stalking you outside your
No. But I'm actually working with a gentleman, Dan Shiver, and we're putting together. I'm big into financial literacy as well, so we're looking to start getting into the public school system.
Yeah.
Here in Paterson, New Jersey, going into the public school system, talking about financial literacy, and then I'll be doing a little inspirational speaking with that as well. As far as any dates or anything that I have coming up, that stuff will be posted on. And 365, spelled Salmond.
Okay. Could you just repeat that again? I think I might have had a bad signal there. If you can just repeat how they can get hold of you again.
That's no problem. On my website, jonathansalmond.com.
Yep.
Also on my Instagram, Salmond365, spelled Salmond, the numbers 365.
Excellent, Jonathan. It's been we could go on forever, but unfortunately, Zoom.
I know this was interesting for us. I know.
But I'll have you on. I'm sure I can have you on again, because obviously
I appreciate.
I'm a retired firefighter. You're still, you're going up in your career and doing a similar thing to me, inspiring people with our work. So I'm sure I'd love to have you on again, Jonathan. And obviously,
I appreciate that.
Having a UK-US bond is always great as well. So
like it, I'm in.
Yeah. Excellent. And whenever I'm back in the US again, I'll give you a shout as well. It's not New York's mainly the place I've gone to, really.
I'm 20 minutes away.
Yeah, Miami, and it's the only other place I've been. But Jersey once, and then New York, really. But anyway, I don't want to tell my listeners all about that. I just want them to obviously know how to get hold of you and find out more about what you're doing. But Jonathan, it's other than that. it's really great for you to come on my show. And this will be a special Christmas edition that will come out on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. So how's that?
All right, great. Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. All right, Jonathan. You have a good one anyway.
All right, Dave, you as well.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening, and remember, if you want to support what we do, then share, subscribe, and leave a review over on Apple Podcasts. Or head over to my website, davepalmer.com, and click on Rate Show. Well, that's all for now, but I'll see you in the next episode of The Dave Palmer Show.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.